If you're like me, you might give your kids cereal in the morning, thinking that it is a decent option for breakfast. I had it as a kid. I'm pretty healthy. It must be a great choice for my kids too. But some new research examining more than 300 brands of cereal suggests a different story. So let's talk about something that's probably sitting in your pantry right now, just like mine: breakfast cereal. For a lot of us, cereal is the go-to breakfast meal. It's quick, it's easy, and it's something that my kids will actually eat. It's one of those foods that feels like a safe bet, especially if it says things like fortified with vitamins or whole grain right on the front of the box. But here's the thing. That cereal that you grew up with, that cereal that you loved as a kid, it's not the same one that your kids are eating today. In fact, it seems like it may have gotten a little sneakier. So a new study published in Public Health Nutrition looked at 331 breakfast cereals between 2010 and 2023. Researchers wanted to know, how has the nutritional quality of these cereals, especially those that are being marketed to children, changed over the past decade? And the answer that they found: not for the better. So here is what they found specifically. Fat content increased by 34%, 33.6. Sodium went up 32%. Added sugars rose almost 11%. Meanwhile, fiber and protein went down. That means that the average bowl of cereal today, again, especially those colorful, cartoon-covered boxes that are right at eye level for those kids who are sitting in shopping carts, has more of the things we're trying to limit: salt, fat, and sugar, and less of the things that help us feel full and nourished, like protein and fiber. So while the front of the box might still say made with whole grains or good source of vitamin D, the actual contents, they're looking a little bit more like dessert than they are like breakfast. Why does this matter? I am not here to demonize cereal. Never am I here to demonize a food. I have 3 kids. Most mornings, cereal is the breakfast of choice in my house, at least for those kids who I can actually get to still eat breakfast. But this study is a reminder of how quietly our food system shifts beneath us, and how easy it is to keep doing things that we've always done without realizing that the thing we're reaching for, the thing we're choosing, has changed. Because breakfast isn't just the first meal of the day. It really does set the nutritional tone for the whole day. And if your kids are starting off with a high sugar, low fiber bowl of air, it can impact their focus, their energy, their mood, and their hunger all morning long. And this goes for you too. It's not just your kids. If cereal is a staple in your house, it's worth making sure that it is earning a spot on your shelf by providing something of value. So how did we get here to these changes in cereal? Let's talk about a few things. Number 1, brand loyalty runs deep. A lot of us are still buying the cereal that we ate as kids. Maybe it's Cheerios, maybe it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or Captain Crunch, or Fruit Loops. Maybe it's a store brand version of something similar. And because the box still looks familiar, we don't really question what's inside. But formulations change. And most brands aren't going to announce, oh, hey, we added more sugar and fat to this, on the front of the package. Number 2, health halos distract us. So food packaging is a marketing game. Brands have seconds to get your attention and convince you to buy their product over the dozens of others that are in the aisle. Cereal boxes, all packaging really, love to shout things like made with whole grains, non-GMO, no artificial colors or sweeteners. And while those claims might be true, they distract us from the stuff that actually matters: how much sugar, how much fiber, and what kinds of fats are inside, and what other ingredients are being used to make that food. Number 3, reformulations fly under the radar. Sometimes companies change their recipes to save money. Other times they follow food trends. And those might even be in our favor, say removing artificial dyes or palm oil due to consumer demands. And as consumers, we're busy. We're shopping with toddlers in the cart. We're moving fast. We trust the brand, we trust the box. And sometimes, not always, that trust can get exploited. So what should you look for on the label? Let's pause for a second here and talk about strategy. If you're standing in the cereal aisle and overwhelmed by the hundreds of options, and your 3 hungry kids shopping with you, here's what I want you to check. Fiber first. Look for at least 3 grams of fiber per serving. Fiber helps you stay full longer and it supports digestion. Sugar second. Try to aim for under 8 or 9 grams of serving, 6 if you can. And keep in mind that those serving sizes are small, and most people pour way more than a serving size. So make sure to check serving size while checking sugar. Number 3, protein matters. If the cereal itself is low in protein, pair it with something that has a little bit more. Milk, yogurt, add some nuts or seeds, or even a hard-boiled egg on the side. Number 4, ignore the front of the box. Seriously, flip it over. That's where the real information lives. And yes, I am that person you will see standing in the aisle, reading the ingredient list and the nutrition panel. Don't be ashamed of it. Own it. So if you are now rethinking your entire breakfast strategy, or just wondering, well, what can we eat that is fast and still works for us? Here are a few simple, realistic options that work in our house and likely many others. We sometimes will make overnight oats. You mix oats, milk, fruit, and nut butter. The night before, store it in the fridge. Someone could even be mixing this up while the rest of you are clearing up from dinner. Scrambled eggs and toast with a little bit of fruit. Comes together in less than 10 minutes. A yogurt parfait, plain Greek yogurt, granola, and some berries. In our house, I also add a drizzle of yogurt, because why not? Smoothies, pair with frozen fruit, spinach and milk or yogurt, and chia or flax seeds. Just remember, smoothies made with a bunch of sweetened yogurt along with dairy milk and or fruit juice and or filled exclusively with fruit contain a lot of sugar. So make sure that there's some additional fiber and protein in there as well. Like scrambled eggs, mini breakfast burritos, scrambled eggs, cheese, some veggies in a tortilla. These can even be made and frozen and then warmed up ahead of time. Even something as simple as whole grain toast with nut butter and banana slices. And look, even if cereal stays in your breakfast rotation, which is totally fine, by the way, think of it like a base and not a whole meal. Add some fruit, add some nuts, something to give it a little staying power. There's something else that I think about a lot. How do I talk to my kids about this? If your kid loves their sweet cereal, don't take it away overnight. And don't take it away without talking to them about it. I really do encourage you to talk to your kids about changes you're making, not just making these changes without telling them. And if you're not sure what to do, start small. Mix in half of their usual cereal with a higher fiber, or higher protein, or lower sugar one. At the grocery store, let them help you choose. Give them a few options that you're okay with them bringing home and let them pick. Talk to them about how food makes you feel and how it makes them feel. You could say, hey, have you noticed that you're hungrier on mornings that you have X? Because I certainly have. And model variety. Let them see you making thoughtful swaps without guilt and without drama. Remember, the goal is not to create good and bad cereals. It's to help kids, to help all of us learn that some choices keep us full and focused longer, and that we are allowed to make changes in our decisions when we learn something new. I know it's hard not to feel overwhelmed by all of this. Wait, cereal is bad now too? That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that our food environment is always changing. And so if we're eating the way we always have without checking in and updating our knowledge with new knowledge as we get it, we might be missing things that matter. Not necessarily, but maybe. And it's worth being informed. Cereal is fine. It's a fine choice for you and for your kids in the morning. It's convenient, it's nostalgic, and it is an easy on-ramp to breakfast for a lot of families. But if it's less nutritious than it used to be, we can be a little bit more intentional about how we choose it, how we use it, and what we serve it with. So again, to be sure you hear me, I am not here to tell you to throw out every box of cereal in your house. Food is far too expensive to suggest that. Definitely enjoy what you have in the pantry. But the next time you go to restock your cereal boxes, maybe you pay a little bit more attention. Because while the packaging might not have changed, what's inside the box seems to have. This new study is a little reminder not to panic, but to pause, to read the label, and to ask, is this food doing what I think it is doing? And if not, what could we swap in that gets us a little closer to feeling nourished, focused, and full? Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with me on The Weekly Parent. If something you heard today made you think, laugh, or feel just a little more human, don't be shy. Subscribe, text it to your BFF, or group chat, or leave us a review. Remember, you'll find free tools, downloads, and whatever else I've cooked up this week in the show notes. Check those out. Parenting is messy. Let's not do it alone. See you next time.